Good afternoon, how's everybody doing? So, we're going micless, obviously, because it wasn't prepared. So if anyone can't hear me, just ask me to speak even louder and I will.
What?
I'm sorry, I know. I talk really quietly, it's a problem. But yeah, so I just want to talk today about the state of MMOs today. I got my master's degree in human computer interaction from UMBC, and I've been studying a lot of user testing of games, and I play a lot of MMOs as well. So I want to make this really more of like a, I want to hear a lot of what you guys think about, as these specific games as we go through. And then, so obviously what makes a great MMO? An individual player is going to feel very differently about what makes an MMO great. Whether or not they love PvP, crafting, world versus world combat, questing, exploration, dungeons or instances, the social aspect, or the individual character story. So clearly each MMO is going to handle these topics differently, at least somewhat. Some, not so much. And what some MMOs are going to excel at, others, it's going to be a far weaker point than others. So we're going to look at and critique some of the new and some of the MMOs that have come out in the past few years or older, and then examine how some older MMOs have such amazing staying power. So we're going to start with Elder Scrolls Online. So it's successes. So this can be a success. You have more of an adult storyline in action. So combat is far bloodier, things like that. And it does as good a job as likely possible of bridging the Elder Scrolls story in other games and an MMO. And it's a crafting system that is very recognizable in any other Elder Scrolls games we played. And it does have unique quests. Yes, we have a lot of the same kill these monsters, gather this item, but there are a lot of puzzles and investigative missions here as well. It has a dynamic event system like many other MMOs. And PvP based mainly in siege-based combat, similar to Guild Wars 2, and other games with battlegrounds. And what do you guys think? Any other successes in Elder Scrolls?
I want to know how many of you people actually play Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, is anyone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much?
It's pretty low. Yeah.
How many are still playing?
Yeah. Is it going to make a difference? Yeah, I was going to say, is it going to make a difference to you when it goes free play in, what, 2 months? No. Fair enough. So, the failures at times, the personal character story here at times definitely can get in the way of the MMO aspect. A crafting system that is very recognizable. There's very little new here. At times, especially in the opening weeks, it was very hard to find a dungeon or zone that hadn't been cleared. And I guess, well, thoughts on the open world content? Anyone? Yeah.
It felt like it was focusing far too much on the personal story aspect, when it feels like most MMOs live or die based on how you're able to interact with others.
Right. That's very true.
Yeah, it just seemed like a pain to be able to make guilds, go on stuff with friends, things such as that.
Right. Okay, so we'll move on. Wildstar. Who's played this one? You do more. So, some of its successes, definitely it has unique classes, weapons, and races. A humorous and good sci-fi storyline at times. A path system with different added quests depending on what you choose, whether it's a settler, an explorer, a soldier, or a scientist. A deep combat system allowing you to see an enemy telegraph an attack and where exactly your attack will hit. A good housing system, and updates adding new zones, dungeons, and battlegrounds without paying for expansions yet. Strong PvP in the battlegrounds. And what about What does everyone think? Any other successes in the game? Yeah.
Hoverboards.
Yes, that is true. Yeah. Who was playing and now stopped playing the game? A lot, yeah. Yeah, I kind of found it just seemed like, as soon as so many people just disappeared from my guild immediately. It's like it definitely had a lot of appeal at first, but it seems like over time, you know, sometimes the sci-fi storyline becomes too goofy. Possibly too cartoonish. There's no personal story for your character necessarily, except for small things at the beginning, which are true for every class, depending on which side you pick. Many of the quests here feel really uninspired. You know, it's a lot of the same kill, gather quests. And here, the PvP battlegrounds are often very chaotic or imprecise, where you're seeing so many telegraphs in an area that it's hard to tell what's going on, and suddenly you're being dealt a lot of combat, or get dealt a lot of damage, and suddenly you or have a lot of people on you. And what about others? Why people stop playing?
The storyline wasn't compelling enough for me. Like I never felt like while I was questing, doing things, like there was always, in other MMOs, there's usually a tie back to whatever the main story arc is.
Right.
And it always seemed very much, go kill these things, go over there, go collect these things. And maybe I was just ignoring things because it wasn't fun enough to try to do all 3 books and tomes or whatever they're called.
Right.
I didn't feel relatable to the storyline. It wasn't something that drew me in.
What did you guys think of some of the 2-player dungeons on the starships? Did you enjoy this? Fair enough.
There we go. That's a real. That's a winner.
So, again, this was an interesting game because it took what was an unplayable game, Final Fantasy XIV, and created a much better MMO with often very beautiful graphics. So classes and races are familiar, some races are familiar from other games in the Final Fantasy universe. A very interesting class system, switch weapons and become a different class or job, and then you can also combine the level of 2 jobs, like Pugilist and Archer, to achieve the Bard job. This is the same with equipping the appropriate tool, switch to gathering and crafting, dynamic events and fates, and PvP of the wolf's den and frontline for large representative players. Battles to control areas on a map, defeat other players, and kill monsters. What do you guys think? Others?
I think the greatest success for me is that with 14, there's no shortage of anything to do.
Amen.
If you say there's nothing to do, you're not trying, or you're not looking hard enough.
Square updates this game so often that the instant you think you've caught up, they add just a huge chunk more to do. You can never fully catch up, and once you do, you then actually focus on the stuff that's more fun while they add all the stuff that's going to cause you to grind for a while.
Right.
So we point out.
Nexus weapon, anybody? Lights?
I got my next project already.
Golden saucer is going to add a lot to
Golden
it.
saucer. The storyline.
Yeah, the storyline is amazing. You know, 11 had some pretty impressive stories. 14 is just, it just keeps you locked right in. And then they have the Hildebrand stories, which is the comical side. Everybody adores.
Are you actually going to be Hunter Mandeville then?
Everybody gets upset doing the manners.
Okay, so what do you guys think about some of the failures? Like, did you ever feel, or failures possibly, did you ever feel it was annoying to work through some of the jobs?
It's easy enough to, especially if you're for the free company, you get the XP bonus, but it's easy enough to level jobs. The problem is when you're looking to do something, and it forces you to play something like, say, Black Mage or White Mage, that you just, I'm a Paladin, I don't like White Mage. I didn't like it at all, but I had to get to the point where I could cast Stone Skin to be an effective Paladin. It was tedious, but once you're done, it's over. It's sort of an unnecessary thing, but in a lot of cases, with the way the battle system works, playing those jobs allows you to do your job better because you know how to work with them.
Right.
I think it's too easy to level
it creates a lot of cap level players who
Yeah.
don't have the proper skills to
Right.
to be knowing what they're doing.
That can be true. So what do you think about, did you ever find it was frustrating to work through especially the switching to gather and crafting tools to gather craft?
They're a little more tedious as far
Not
as
enough
XP.
inventory space.
Oh, man.
Not enough armor, chest space.
Yeah,
You can only hold 25 shirts, what?
And it takes a lot to XP through those compared to your
Crafting,
sites.
crafting got easier with the Exali dailies.
Yeah, the Exali dailies.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
I don't think crafting is easy. You have the guy who'll just give you all your high quality turn-ins.
Oh, yeah. Get working.
Right, yeah. So, did you guys ever find, I know I did, grouping, especially for the later dungeons, was frustrating at times?
I don't think there's a single person who's played 14 in this room who hasn't had a crystal tower or circus tower.
Blasphemy!
JP, what are you doing?
One day.
All right, someone get the iron giant. On the pad!
Type EX? Anyone type EX?
Oh,
Yes, for the gods!
Sorry, what was that?
Huh?
What was that?
I was saying that finding a group isn't the hard part of the game. Finding 7 other people who know how to not stand in a puddle. That's where grouping is frustrating.
It's closed. The floor's closed.
But at least you get the party.
I mean, you still get people who still can't do a tight and hard mode because they don't know what weight of the earth means.
So, what do you guys think about some of the quests? Like, we still have a lot of the same kind of
Go here,
kill,
kill that.
gather, go here.
There's not enough quests. Leveling multiple jobs, if you're only doing quests, there's not enough.
You burn through all
I
the
mean,
side quests in
again,
the first
the
one.
quest, typical Square, the quest's storylines are fairly compelling.
Right.
But you are correct in that it's a lot of go here, kill that.
11 did them better.
11 did that.
It's been Philly.
Tell her to shut up.
I need you.
Sorry, come here.
Did you guys find that Final Fantasy was a compelling MMO experience?
We're veterans from 11, we went to 14. We've
Right.
never really been dissatisfied with the way Square tells a story in the Final Fantasy.
That's
MMOs.
fair. That is fair.
And the graphics are unbeatable.
Yeah, no, the graphics are, yeah, it's definitely gorgeous. And what other, do you guys think there have been any other failures in the game?
I think one of the biggest failures of the game is a failure that's shared with just about every MMO, is class balance. Because no one's bringing Dragoons to anything ever again. Or Summoners.
I got two problems, skill speed and spell speed.
Skill speed. Why Square? Yeah, I felt like the MMO sort of interfered with it trying to deliver a compelling story. It's sort of difficult to craft a well-known term, which is what Final Fantasy is known for, when you are having to spend upwards of 50 hours to get anywhere.
Right. I think that's true with a lot of, well, I think that's true with a lot of the games where, you know, it's a sort of battle between keeping just a straight MMO and then giving someone a compelling experience where they feel more connected to their character.
It's especially
Or their
bad
character
because
story.
the story is what Final Fantasy is known for. Everyone who plays Final Fantasy pretty much is going in expecting a well-crafted story.
Right.
So,
Anyone else?
Relic grind.
well, at least they nerfed it.
Good.
And you know what? And that pisses off people like me who did it the hard way.
Yeah.
I'm still on my 4th Adam's book.
I'm done with my Zodiac for
I'll
now.
just pew pew with my Zodiac, but don't worry.
I saw you have a couple hands in the back.
Personal complaint, I haven't seen a single heal since I started crafting a year ago.
Single what?
Single guild.
Oh.
Well, the problem, as weaver, I make most of my money off of the crafting items. I kill sheep for a living.
No, you said us.
I send my free company to kill things, to kill sheep for me and get me wool. Because in a lot of cases, the crafting materials cost more than the final product. The economy, I don't understand how the economy is as screwed up as it is.
Yeah, I'm working.
But again, it's that's a player issue about people that know business.
Right.
You know?
What the hell happened to the jackass who would have cut by 10K?
There's that too, yeah.
Right.
This is up for 2 million. People put it up for 100 bucks.
Someone's selling a fat cat for 500 kil.
If only we were so lucky.
Anyone else?
Yeah, boys. I'm throwing that out.
Okay, next. Let's talk about Guild Wars 2. So, it definitely had a unique story at the time. Oh wait, I'm sorry. We're gonna just skip through. I'm gonna move back. These slides got out of order, sorry.
Speed round.
We'll go backwards in a second. So it does have an interesting crafting system with discovering how to craft items by combining ingredients. What do you guys think of that? You enjoy that aspect of it? A little bit? Yeah.
Talk about Rift.
Oh no, sorry, I'm talking about Guild Wars 2. Sorry, the slides got out of order. And then we're going to go back to Rift. Sorry. So, again, like so many other games, the living world is very, very amazing. I mean, new content is delivered for free every couple of weeks. So, massive parts of the world. I don't know if anyone remembers what Lion's Arch used to be like compared to what it looks like now in the game. One of the cities.
Oh yeah.
I haven't played but I've been wanting to keep up with the updates.
So it does have a fairly good personal character story that, depending on your race, it can be race and you know your class and what you chose at the beginning. The story can be a little different. So some of them are going to be, some of them are definitely a little cornier than others. That has a lot of dynamic events that fill out the story within zones. And rule versus rogue combat is both fascinating and complex. Does anyone have any experience with that?
World v. World or?
Yeah, well, yeah.
The few times I try to play it, it seemed kind of just be, whoever had the most people on that specific location.
Yeah, no, I found that too.
I mean,
but
just to compare Guild Wars 1 to 2, Guild Wars 2 seemed to be more PvE based, while Guild Wars 1 was very strategic in its PvP combat.
right.
And I think Guild Wars 1 definitely did that the best. And I don't think they could have outdone it. Like, Guild Wars 1 was just so perfect in their balancing on the classes and having 8 skills and all that. And
Yeah.
My favorite thing about the Rogue vs. World is that no one ever knew what they were doing. There was always that one guy who's like, alright guys, follow me. You're like, what the hell am I doing? I'm just follow this guy, follow this guy. That happened every time.
The Great Conquest, the same thing. Oh, God, what do we do?
And any others?
How you leave out the one thing about Guild Wars, the fact that you buy the box and you play.
Oh yeah. I forgot to mention
That's like
that.
the major thing, the major draw.
The free to play is definitely.
yeah, so you
Well,
spend
it's not free
$60
to play,
and
you buy the
that's
box, right?
it. Great.
Well, or $30 now, depending on what it is. Yeah.
You don't have to go around hunting for quest givers, so as soon as you walk into a town, here's the stuff you have to do. Yeah.
What do you guys think of mounts versus the way Guild Wars handles it with warp zones?
Waypoints forever.
Saves you money.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so failures in the game. So, like so many other games, some of the quests, even some of the dynamic quests, can be fairly lackluster. So, killing grubs or repairing fences. The personal character, like I was saying, depending on the race chosen and choices, can be fairly cheesy. I don't know if anyone's played through some of the Norn stories, but yeah. So, you get XP rewards for almost everything in the game from crafting on. Is this good or bad?
I think it's good. The thing is, I'm actually trying to get a character to get to level 80 without ever leaving a town.
How's it going?
It's level 47.
Yeah.
How I'd say that the fact that the game scales you depending on the area that you're in, it really so it's self-balancing in that aspect. I know that I went back and I've enjoyed areas either with friends or new people or
Right,
across
and the
decks,
fact that it
and
dropped.
still had the equivalent experiences they did.
Right.
So I mean, I guess cursing that fact alone, I think the XP for everything you do aspect kind of incentivizes you to go and do random things.
Right. So again, so this is true with a lot of other games, but there is no open world PvP. We only have world versus world combat and PvP arenas. And what do you guys think any others where it's been?
I don't know, just personally, I have a major problem with the lag. Like, it seems like always, like, I'll be doing the quest or something, just be like, lag, crash, over. And then I'll try to get back to the server, be like, reconnecting. And it's not even that I'm mad with you, it's just the servers are so unreliable at some points in the day, you have to pick your spots when you want to play.
Yeah.
Balance between weapons and within a spec in a class would be widely varying in whether or not it's actually worth, say, using an offhand and a main hand weapon versus using a staff.
Right.